discipline is a part of the lifestyle there.
Opening tip goes to Alabama A&M. We're underway. Final quarterfinal game of the 2022 SWAC tournament. Semifinals start tomorrow.
Hey, FAMU basketball, you are now SWAC official. Welcome to the tournament.
Three-pointer on the way, no good. Tip down, and Florida A&M gets the ball. MJ Randolph with the ball now. Drive, shoots, no good. Rebound by Dalen Smith.
Randolph averaging over 18. He'll play pretty much the entire game for FAMU as A&M gets on the board first.
Jalen Johnson, we talked about him, third leading scorer in the conference, puts 2 on the board for Alabama A&M.
Just a lot of atmosphere here for this game. We saw a lot of local media here. That's always a good indicator of interest in markets across the SWAC footprint.
MJ Randolph getting his first 2 points of the ball game. We're tied at 2.
And he's just like a quiet assassin. Doesn't do a lot of talking. You might say, oh, he's having an all right game. And you look up and he's got 20 points out of nowhere.
Alabama A&M, number 5 seed coming into this tournament. Garrett Hicks drawing a double team. And the ball goes out of bounds. Back to Florida A&M.
Yeah, Johnson crashing the board there. Couldn't bring it down.
Take a look at the starter for Florida A&M. They'll start Spear, Reeves, Randolph, Moraine, and Jones. Cortez now coming into the ball game for Alabama A&M.
Jalen Spear missed a lot of playing time. He had some health issues he had to overcome during the year. The last 3 games of the regular season, he was back, and he's a welcome addition back to this starting lineup after playing early on in the year.
Good shot taken by Bryce Moraine. And what a difference maker he is. Taking a look at the Alabama A&M starters. They've got Parker, Tucker, Johnson, Hicks, and Smith. Hicks handles the point duties. Look out for him. He's number 10.
Looking to trap up top.
Tucker taking the shot. No good. Saved.
Oh, it's going to be a shot clock violation. Never hit the rim. It's going to come back. FAMU basketball.
Randolph and Moraine are the 2 players that have scored so far for Florida A&M. And like we said, they get the final game of the quarterfinals in their first SWAC tournament.
There's a lot of buzz in the arena. Alabama A&M not too far, just about an hour-and-a-half drive away. So a lot of excitement here, ending the quarterfinals, getting ready for the semis tomorrow. 1 more ticket to be punched. Will it be FAMU or Alabama A&M?
Randolph Jr. to Spear. 8 left on the shot clock. Spear will take it himself. Misses the shot. And Alabama A&M with the rebound. Cortez gets the big board. Tucker draws a double team.
They like to trap the ball and put pressure on it at the top of the key with their defense, the Rattlers do.
Nice block there by Randolph Jr.
That was a double tap. I think 2 Rattlers got a hold of the ball.
Tucker driving.
Yeah, that's an offensive foul there.
Tucker with his first foul, the first team foul for Alabama A&M.
And you see there, he just put his arm right in the chest of Randolph. Pushed him back. Easy call on the charge.
We saw this earlier this year when they were taking on Texas Southern University, just a strong team.
Yep, there's a lot of excitement for that game, and just kind of faltered late in that game. Texas Southern, after that incredible trip of spending the night in the airport, they had some bad weather come through Texas that weekend. An exciting trip for them. Not that they would want to repeat it.
Reeves misses the shot. Johnson with the rebound. Hicks will pull up from the top of the key. No good. Johnson with the rebound. Put back, no good. Here come the Rattlers.
See Johnson's size and athleticism, the way he can attack the board.
Randolph. No. Blocked out of there. Welcome to...
Then you have some real hope of a potential SWAC championship for your team.
Florida A&M will inbound the basketball. Spear will control. Reeves will shoot, and he'll get the bucket.
Nice curl move there. Comes up. Pulls up for the jumper. And, you know, the first 5 minutes of all these games, these teams have to get settled, especially with this also being their first tournament game. We'll see who can get into the flow of their offense first between Alabama A&M and Florida A&M. MJ Randolph comes up with the steal, and he's on the move.
Before that last shot, Florida A&M was 2 for 8 from the field. Randolph with plenty of time on the shot clock. Reeves for 3. Good.
Reeves is feeling it as he runs back down the court. And you during the old slap the floor on defense. We're going to have a couple more Rattlers check in as they lead by 7, 9-2.
Reeves averages about 8.9 points a game, just under 9. Already has 5 points. Three-pointer on the way, no good. Cortez trying to get it. Back up with a shot. E.J. Williams, no good.
A lot of beef on that front line there. E.J. Williams throwing his weight around that second attempt. Off on the other side, but it's a bucket for the Bulldogs.
Cortez with the bucket. 9-4 is the score.
All right, let's see if we can have a little speed advantage, a little fade away. It's short by DJ Jones. He's a really good shooter from the outside when he gets hot.
Hits for 3, no good. Williams with the rebound. Well, Williams is such a big kid on the inside. That one rattles in and out. And the Rattlers rattle Alabama A&M on that possession.
Yeah, Jones and Williams about the same height, but the size comparison stops there.
Offensive foul charge to FAMU.
Randolph trying to back his man down, and he's going to be called for the hook right there. You see he puts his arm around the waist, tries to get a little advantage with the hook and the spin, but referees call it. That's a charge. We'll go back to Alabama A&M.
Take a look at the keys to the game, brought to you by Buick, official partner of the NCAA and of the Southwestern Athletic Conference.
Alabama A&M pretty good at defending the three-point shot. They're number 4 in the league, allowing teams only 32%. Got to play solid D. They're number 3 in the league in that as well. Number 2 team rebounding, so watch for them on the boards. Florida A&M, of course, MJ leads the way. They're shooting about 43%. That's always going to dip in the tournament, so shots at a premium there. And Fear the Spear, Jalen Spear back in the lineup after missing a lot of time. Let's see how he contributes in his 4th game back for the Rattlers.
Shot taken by Johnny Brown, no good. Here comes Alabama A&M. Well, that defense is suffocating for Florida A&M.
If you get in the corner, they're going to trap you. They actually love to trap all over the court. Top of the key, in the corner. A&M gets a shot up, but it's no good. We're coming back other end for the Rattlers.
Reeves now out high. Getting some instruction from Coach McCallum.
Just going to reset the offense here. 15 seconds on the shot clock. And see if they can find Randolph. Pulls up left elbow. That shot's wide.
Randolph wanted a foul. No call, and here comes Alabama A&M.
Almost a jump ball there, but arguing for the tie-up. But
we have to get you some help, sir. First free throw attempt is up and good by Hicks.
Now, don't make me tell the people at home our business, Santoria.
I have no business.
How you sneak off to the VIP and come back with food only for yourself.
Oh, goodness gracious. Hicks averages 13.9 points a game, and Conley Carr averages 3.4 shades per game.
And 0 sandwiches.
FAMU up 9-8 on Alabama A&M.
All right, we got the top scorers guarding one another. Johnson was on Randolph, and Johnson comes away with the steal. He's big, he's athletic, great scorer, pretty good defender as well.
Spear loses control of the ball, and that's going to be a foul coming up on the floor. They're going to call that on Spear.
Yeah, Spear kind of felt like he was the victim of the push-off there, but as the defender, he's bodying the offensive player first.
Inbounding the basketball, Eric Lee.
Working the ball along the top, and Spear close on, and tight defense there. Missed by A&M. Here comes the Rattlers on the other end.
No good on that shot. Right there with the rebound is Bryce Moraine. Couple of chances, point blank, and they can't cash in.
As Johnson had a good look at it from that left elbow, couldn't get it to fall. Coming back on the other end is Spear.
Spear will take a three-pointer up off the left side of the rim. Johnson with the rebound.
Yeah, he averages 7 per game. He's quickly working towards that number, hitting the boards here early on. Oh, rejection there. Creates a transition opportunity here for FAMU.
With that block, Johnson now has 100 defensive rebounds this season.
Morane's having a hard time finishing around the basket. That gets poked away. The trailer for the 3 decides against it.
And you hear some of the fans and even his coach just saying, you should take that shot.
Johnson spins off the glass, no good. Coming back the other way. A lot of back and forth with no payoff last couple of possessions for either team with the bucket. Let's see if we can change that. Not quite. Randolph fighting for it. He gives up on that. Doesn't want to pick up a cheap foul there.
And this is thrown out of bounds. FAMU basketball. Let's toss it over to the third member of our broadcast team. Ty, take it away.
To crash the boards. He needs to play big down there because they can't match up with him. So look for EJ to get more opportunities with the ball. He's a 6'10", 275-pound junior. More room to grow. Let's go ahead and keep watching. Back to you at the table.
All right, thanks a lot, Ty. Here you see EJ. He is a big kid. He looks like he can play kind of defensive line.
She said more room to grow.
He looked like he could serve as one of the buffet busters on the line.
It all depends on who's paying the tab. Might have a different opinion.
Randolph gets the bucket and will go to the free throw line.
And he finishes taking the contact there, and that kind of gets him fired up. He doesn't show a lot of emotion. You have to watch him carefully. He's very even-keeled, but he gets excited on that play. Absorbs the contact. And that's Randolph up against Johnson there. He'll go to the free throw line. Chance to convert.
Free throw up and good. And that's something we saw when we were in Tallahassee. He's a very good free throw shooter.
Gets plenty of opportunities. His style of play. He's not a guy that just makes a living on the perimeter. He has no problems and very efficient at driving and absorbing contact going to the hole.
He's been to the free throw line over 140 times this year.
Johnson gets tied up before he can get that up on the glass. That foul will go against Reeves.
Now Jalen Johnson going to the charity stripe, shooting 72% on the year.
He'll get 2 cracks at it here.
A&M, they averaging right around 61 points a game. right around where we've seen a lot of the games, 60 to 70 points.
Yeah, this is what you see in the tournament. You're looking at 60 to 70 point range. If somebody cracks 80 or 90, color me shocked here tomorrow.
FAMU with the basketball. Jones controlling out high, defended by Jones.
Talk about colors. FAMU's got a lot of attention for their special colorway of their LeBron shoes this year. That's been an envy for fans of sneakerheads, as they like to call them.
And of course, great designs on their uniforms on the back of them.
Yeah, very subtle Rattler design there behind the number.
Three-pointer on the way. That's Cortez. Can't hit the bucket.
Reeves pushing the ball for FAMU. Alabama A&M picking up in transition.
Brown on the inside.
There we go. A little high-low on the front line for A&M, and Jones with the two-hand flush. So it's 7:50 to go. FAMU pushing the lead up to 5, 14 to 9. Got a little excitement from the crowd on that dunk. Spin in the lane. Over the trees. No good. Put back is stripped away. And in transition, here comes Reeves.
And Reeves defended by Jones. Inside pass, and once again, that's DJ Jones with the bucket.
With a soft touch. It was right under the rim. Just had to throw that up and let it drop in. FAMU finding their groove. How about A&M? It's a no-go. Coming back the other way. Rattlers in transition again.
Randolph driving. Can't hit the bucket. 9 to score. And it'll be Alabama A&M basketball. Three-pointer on the way by Hicks. And it's good. Cameron Hicks. Now with 7 points. Alabama A&M cutting this deficit to 4. Moraine inside to DJ Jones, who's already made an impact. Reeves steps up, takes the shot. Strong rebound by Dalen Smith.
Smith doing a good job of ripping the ball away so he wouldn't get tied up with a jump ball there.
Fairley with the rebound. Williams, I should, with the rebound. And he gets the bucket.
Williams using his size to bring that ball down, back up. Defensive FAMU couldn't do anything with him on that play.
Near steal and getting the bucket. Spear. Spear with his first 2 points in the ball game. 18-14. Florida A&M on top.
Yeah, you know, he's still working his way back into the lineup. This is about his 4th game back, so he's not quite got his sea legs like everybody else.
Well, his head coach says there's one thing to be in shape, but there's another thing to be in basketball shape.
Oh, two totally different things.
Three-pointer on the way by Cameron Tucker. No good. Moraine will drive, shoot, gets it partially blocked. E.J. Williams getting into the block party. Jalen Johnson coming back into the lineup. Oh, look at that block by Williams.
Timed that one pretty good. Randolph getting to the second level of that A&M defense, but it's going to be out of bounds. And come back the other way for the Bulldogs. So 4:53 to go here in the first half. finishing out the quarterfinal nightcap. Tally Carr along with Santoria Black. 18-14, FAMU on top. It's their welcome to the SWAC basketball tournament moment against the Bulldogs.
And what a way. They're the number 4 seed coming in. At one point in time, they had won 7 in a row during the regular season. Started slipping a little bit against Texas Southern. Back half of the season was a little tougher for them. And look at that shot getting in. Johnson with a little English on the basketball.
And he was spinning at an angle where it looked like he was going to use his left hand, and then he turned back and turned it into a right-hand shot and got it to go.
3-point bucket.
Reeves, his second three-pointer of the game. He's showing he can stroke it from the outside. He has 8 points in that FAMU lead. Up to 5 here, 21-16.
27th three-pointer for Spears. Johnson going up for the shot, no good. Ball tipped, and it comes back to Alabama A&M.
Yeah, two Rattlers fighting one another for the ball. On the baseline, Johnson powers up, can't get it to go. Reeves has Randolph, if he'll look up, wasn't quite ready to make the pass, goes behind the back to Brown. Almost a magic there, Santoria.
3:33 remaining in the half. Long three by Pham.
This is a guy that FAMU is loving to have back in the lineup.
And it remains perfect at the line this season. The 3 games he played prior to this, he was 8 for 8. Now he's 9 for 9.
Looking to set up the trap here. They have it. A&M's able to dig their way out of it.
3-pointer on the way by Hicks. No good. Ball tipped out of bounds. Back to Pham.
DJ Jones that time battling with Johnson. Gets Johnson to knock it out.
Randolph to Reeves.
Reeves has hit a couple of threes.
And that last touch by Florida A&M goes back to Alabama A&M.
Yep, about the only guarantee that we have tonight is A&M is going to win.
You saw the coaching staff, Dylan Howard, who had the interim tag on him at one point. And then, of course, in 2019, March of 2019, as a matter of fact, he had that interim tag removed as the head coach. Wide open and a dunk by Miles Parker.
You like the end result there, but still, you see the pressure that FAMU was able to put on Alabama A&M, and that took a lot just to get that pass off after being trapped along the sideline. You don't want to do that every single time down.
Spear will take another three. Was partially blocked, though. Tucker hands it off to Parker. And Parker with another 2 on the board.
Yeah, Parker was the trailer on that play. Nice little handoff as he came behind. Had to hit a couple of pump fakes to get it in, but 2 points nonetheless for A&M.
Reeves with the basketball. He'll take a 3-pointer. No good. Rattled in and out.
Looked good. It felt good.
It just didn't go down good. Smith. Outside to Jones.
Johnson got stripped on the way up. Doesn't reset the shot clock. He didn't get it on the rim.
That rattled in and out. Taking on Grambling, the 7 seed.
Almost went chalk. 1, 3, and 4 advance, but the 7 knocks off the 2 on the women's side.
It was the Alabama A&M Lady Bulldogs that got knocked off by Grambling. 3-pointer on the way. That is Brown. No good. Out of bounds, and Alabama A&M gets it with 42 seconds left in the first half.
So in that situation, you know, you kind of look at a potential 2-for-1 there. You get the shot up quick enough It gives you enough time to have another possession depending on how things turn out for A&M with a 12-second difference in the shot clock and game clock.
Coming down the floor, Cameron Tucker had the ball thrown into him, and he didn't quite, wasn't quite ready, and looked at the official and laughed.
Strong drive to the hoop there. Sometimes you go thinking, all right, I got this layup. Other times, you know, driving to the hole. I'm going to have to eat a foul here because they're going to get me, but I'm probably going to end up at the line.
Brown with the foul. That's his first personal. Free throw up and good by Miles Parker. DJ Jones checks in.
And if you're at home watching, you might be accustomed to Miles Parker normally being number 1. He had a jersey switch tonight, so he's wearing number 20. It's the senior from Huntsville. Stayed at home.
It's both free throws. Parker averaging 4.3 points a game. He's already hit 4 points tonight. And Randolph will hold the ball for the last shot. Six seconds left. Randolph.
Put him on skates.
4 seconds left. Can't hit the shot. Ball on the floor. Out of bounds as
well.
Underway here in the second half between these two teams. 20 minutes remaining in one of these two teams' season. One team advances, the other team goes home.
Well, that's the reality of basketball. You know, football, you almost kind of know, unless you're the conference champion, when your last game is going to be. Everything is set. Well, basketball, you come in with all these hopes and dreams, and it can end very quickly in one game.
Randolph with the basketball, and really stretching their defense. Spear with the three, no good. Jones with a rebound. Jalen Johnson. Gets the ball on the inside now.
Johnson
well, he had to work that bucket.
Yeah, he was at a slight height disadvantage, but he created the space that he needed with that shoulder.
Taking a look at our players to watch, sponsored by Cricket, Jalen Johnson and Jay Randolph.
Both those guys with 5 apiece. They're getting their shots, just not converting yet, but they can turn it on here. We'll see which one makes the bigger difference, the bigger impact on the game in the second half.
Tucker will inbound for Alabama A&M.
Johnson looking to go to work again. Spins out, finds the open man on the three. It's no good.
Smith trying to pull up from there. And he's done that a few times this year where leave him alone and he'll try to pull up. Spear now, out high.
Randolph played all 20 minutes of the first half. He has not had a rest, which is normal for him, logging over 1,000 minutes this season.
Shot up, no good off the front of the iron. DJ Jones. A&M's only lead, talking about Alabama A&M, was 2-0 at the start of the game.
Transition here for FAMU, going to slow things up. Reeves couldn't get in front of the defense. Reverse dribble off the screen. Going to try to get that ball screen again. Still couldn't quite break away. Good job by A&M to fight over that pick.
Spears thought about the shot, taking the Euro step. Foul coming up. It's going to be on Jalen Smith.
Jalen Smith is
First personal.
Tell you, that Alabama A&M defense really forced FAMU to work for everything on that offensive play. They came away with the foul. They're kind of cleaning up some moisture on the court. We had some players kind of spill into the lane at the end there.
Yep. Cameron Reeves will inbound the basketball from Champaign, Illinois. Graduate student. And when you talk to Coach McCollum, several of these guys already have their degrees. Shot up, no good, in and out by DJ Jones.
Randolph fighting for the rebound, couldn't come up with it. Has to pick himself up off the floor, come back on defense.
Parker tried the shot, no good, but he draws the foul.
Jones with his long wingspan, an easy block, but he came across the arm. And that's going to be a foul in the act of shooting.
Parker, of course, trying to make sure that all these free throws count here. Tied at 25 now. One more free throw here for Parker. He's got 8 points now.
Randolph still sitting at 5 points. He's going to get a ball screen and spin into the lane. A little hesitation and gives him 7 on the evening.
That's what he does. He is able to maneuver. He's able to get around and get a good shot.
Tries to pick the pocket from behind.
When you look at Randolph, it's hard to imagine you got a guard that's 6'5" that moves that well.
Really the king of the mid-range game.
Good pick set up there by DJ Jones. Here's Littles with the shot. No good. Shot by Tucker. No good. These teams going up and down now. Can't hit a shot, but boy, they're moving and they're giving it 110%. Littles inside. Gets the bucket.
Littles missed that jumper previously, but getting a little closer to the bucket, finishing with the left hand, gets that one to go, and FAMU up by 3 with 16 to go. Not looking. Almost threw that one away.
Need to make shots. He said they need to draw fouls and they need to defend well. And they also said that they need to attack the basket. E.J. Williams just checked in, so I guess we're going to see a lot of that. Back to y'all at the table.
Hey, E.J. is a big kid. Sitting on the other side. Looks like he can play guard, tackle.
Yeah, when he checks into the game, you look up and you say, oh, you got him? You got him? Is that your man?
And also checking in for Alabama A&M is Eric Lee. They are 6'4" sophomore from Tampa, Florida. We told you about E.J. Williams, 6'10", 275 junior from Cincinnati. That boy's a biscuit from 300.
Chase Bars, he gets the task. He's checked in for FAMU. He's 6'9", 210. He'll be going up. Same height, different weight class.
Three-pointer on the way. Good! They count that as a 3. Cameron Reeves.
Are we going to have 2 4-point plays in the same game on the same team? He was well behind the line. There's no question there. He hits it. He's fouled. Today has just been the day of the 4-point play. This will be the 3rd one of the SWAC quarterfinals.
And this time,
he doesn't convert it.
So now Spear and Reeves both with 4-point plays, except Reeves did not make his free throw. Parker inside. E.J. Williams. Williams going up. Shot no good, but he's going to the free throw line. He had 2 guys draping on him, and he still got that ball out of his hands.
Yep. All he had to do was one little dribble and back it up just a little bit, and they're going to move, whether they want to or not.
E.J. Williams at the free throw line. Shooting 65% from the free throw line. One more free throw coming up for E.J. Williams.
Looks like all the big guys have been left-handed today.
That makes for an interesting way to try to defend. Misses that one.
Randolph has a hole.
And he gets the bucket, and the foul coming up on Alabama A&M.
You saw the lane just part like the Red Sea there. Randolph sees that opportunity. He's going to exploit it.
Second foul on Cameron Tucker. And now Randolph will go to the free throw line to try to complete the three-point play.
And Alabama A&M defense was kind of bunched up right at the free throw line. No one was back in that spot. That's exactly where Randolph went to capitalize on it. And see if he'll convert his. He misses the free throw. FAMU leaving 2 points on the board at the free throw line.
And E.J. Williams going up strong on the inside.
FAMU quickly coming back the other way.
Keith Littles with another deuce.
That fast break, there's only about 3 dribbles involved. Randolph with his head up, pushes the ball up, and FAMU now up by 6.
FAMU has hit their last 4 from the field. So they got Chase Bars on Williams. Tucker for 2 for A&M.
That was a long 2 just inside the three-point line there for Tucker. Meringue really hasn't got going today, and he likes to take a few power dribbles and pull up for his mid-range, and hasn't been able to get that to fall. Nice back door. Good finish.
And that's Cameron Hicks.
Williams with the assist. Good patience, good court vision that time in the half-court offense for A&M, Alabama A&M. Good move there.
And Meringue needed that one because he hadn't scored a lot tonight.
Well, that was Bars, actually. Bars got down there and spun away with the little one-handed hook off the glass. The pace is starting to pick up here. FAMU holding on to a 2-point lead. Down to the 13-minute mark, and FAMU's going to walk the ball up court and slow things down on this half-court set.
38-36, Grambling, I should say FAMU on top of Alabama A&M. This is a big shot here for Florida A&M. Bryce Moraine with the bucket.
That's his shot. He likes to pull up for that jumper from either elbow, and he finally gets one to go.
Inside to E.J. Williams. That is going to go against Keith Littles.
Yeah, he tried to close in. And Littles just...
So the last, looking at Alabama A&M, they've hit 6 out of their last 7. Florida A&M, they've hit their last 4 field goals. 40-36 now, Florida A&M on top. 12:35 remaining here in the ball game.
Reeves and Meringue go out for FAMU. Jalen Spear is back in.
That foul is on the floor.
FAMU is out of position on defense on that inbound.
Jalen Spear gets his second foul. Now a few more fouls have been called. And mainly that's just been because some of the players out of position.
Yeah, because they were about to give up an easy layup. And now Bars is having a conversation with the officials as Jalen Johnson doesn't like them touching him, and Bars is saying, why can't I do it? He's not listening to his teammates or anybody.
And so Bars is going to come out of the ball game.
That was a case of, I'm going to do it my way. And Coach McCollum had zero intent on having a conversation about that. And he's still trying to explain. And he has an audience of none on his side, including his own team.
And that's going to be a foul. Bryce Moraine with his second personal foul. Now Jalen Johnson will go to the free throw line for Alabama A&M. The 72% free throw shooter, averaging 17 points a game.
Just his third point of the second half. He's now at 8. He's 3 of 9 from the floor in this game. 2 of 3 at the free throw line. Now 3 of 4. The other big scorer on the year, Randolph, he's at 9. Kicks it to Spear in the corner. Spear in the lane.
Nice three-pointer. Good. They're going to call that a 2. And that was DJ Jones.
Jones has a nice touch for a big man from outside. He can even step back and shoot it from 3 as well.
Shot no good, but Jalen Johnson right there to clean things up. And now he's in the double figures with 11 points. Things starting to heat up here. Fam by a deuce.
Johnson, the number 3 scorer in the SWAC. Coach McCullum calling the offensive set.
NJ Randolph, shot no good. Here comes Alabama A&M. They could tie it or take the lead. Well, that defense coming up tough.
The sponsors as well. You know, sometimes you go to a tournament and you can just tell, well, you know, that's the floor that's there. Let's just put some stickers on it. This is a SWAC floor.
Absolutely. See the branding with the conference name on the front on both sides of it. Shot up no good by Miles Parker. And foul coming up on DJ Jones.
Yeah, I think it's great to have branding of all the 12 SWAC institutions at all times because they're along each baseline. So even for the guys that aren't here, still get to see their represented.
Parker, of course, going and getting fouled, missing the first free throw. Has one more opportunity at the line. Miles Parker shooting about 65% from the free throw line. And he's 1 of 2.
And that pulls the Bulldogs to within 1. Almost midway through the second half here. And pretty close one. These teams traded off, beating one another during the regular season.
Randolph goes in, foul. And he will go to the free throw line. You know, whoever wins this game will play tomorrow night at 8. And I guess it's one of the advantages. You play on Wednesday. You don't have to worry about playing until Friday.
Yeah, you get a full, you know, like a day and a half off. And really, that's not enough time to me personally to start, you know, thinking about rest versus rust. It's not like a team has had a week off like you do with some of these football buys, but get a practice in, keep the legs fresh, and get back to it in the semifinals.
Jalen Johnson, his second personal foul.
That was,
man, missed that one.
Almost down. Decides to come back out.
Tucker with the basketball. Near turnover there for Alabama A&M. The defense is playing high
2
up.
near turnovers.
Tucker, a turnaround jumper. Good!
And that was...
What a circus shot that was.
That was Kobe style right there. It was out of desperation, but it looked good.
And really, the defense was so suffocating, playing the passing lanes and up on everybody. He just turned around and said, you know what, I'm just going to let God have it.
Moraine just gets something off the glass, and he gets it to go.
And he's one of the guys that Coach McCullum talks about, that he is such an important part of the way that the offense works, especially on the inside. He averages right at about 11 points and 6 rebounds a game. Leads the team in rebounding next to MJ Randolph. Three-pointer by Dalen Smith.
Smith's had a couple of shots from downtown. He's 1 of 8, more than a couple from the floor. 1 of 3 on three-pointers. That's his first shot to drop.
And a steal and a block. Randolph blocked the shot of Hicks.
So Spear got away with the foul. And what was kind of funny watching it in real time, as Hicks was complaining with his hands up of why he didn't get fouled, the ball just fell into his hands. Like, he's clearly fouled right there. He's complaining, and then the ball just came right back to him. And he's fouled. But, I mean, this right here, I mean, he's just wrapped up.
Alabama A&M 12 of 17 from the free throw line. Three-pointer by Little. Air ball. Here comes Tucker. Under 9, just about 9 minutes remaining in the game.
Oh, good switch to the, he caught that. It didn't touch anything, huh? Oh, that's a hard foul right there.
Dalen Smith goes down hard.
But the first time he switched to the left hand on that layup, it seemed like it didn't touch anything. Let's take it. Well, this is the foul here. That's
DJ Jones' 3rd personal. Dalen Smith at the free throw line.
Right across his face.
Dalen Smith 71% from the free throw line. As a team, they shoot right around 72%. First free throw is up and good.
Little's going to check out. Reeves is going to come back in. DJ Jones goes out. Brown is back in. Reeves provided a lot from the perimeter for FAMU in the first half. We'll see how he fits back into the offense now that he's checked back into the game.
Smith nails it. 48-45, 8:48 remaining. They've hit 7 of their last 7. Talking about Alabama A&M. Three-pointer on the way, no good.
And crashing in, Moran for the rebound attempt, and he was pushed by Smith. That's going to be
Dalen Smith with the foul.
be a
That's his
baseline out of
second
bounds.
personal. Ball tipped out of bounds, back to Florida A&M.
So 8:32 to go. Kind of reset things here. Alabama A&M up by 3 over Florida A&M.
Randolph thought about passing it, took the shot, comes off the front of the iron. Hicks with the basketball. Dalen Smith nearly hit the shot. Bryce Moraine now has picked up his third personal. .8:10 remaining in the game. 48-45 the score. Smith 8 points, 7 rebounds. 49-45 the score. And for Dalen Smith, hits the free throw. Jalen Smith back in the game. 50-45, Alabama A&M on top of Florida A&M. Approaching 8 minutes left in the ball game. Now McCullum giving his orders into his team. Really motivating them.
The Bulldogs are just kind of slowly picking up that lead. Reeves, that fadeaway comes up short.
And now Coach Donald Howard telling his guys about spacing. He's really spreading the floor out right now.
I think Rattler fans watching at home are hoping for another FAMU mini run to start here soon.
Long three with 4 seconds left on the shot clock goes on score. And for Florida A&M, no points in the last 2.5 minutes.
Yep, it's part of the 7-0 Alabama A&M run. They've made 7 out of their last 8. It's been a bit of a drought.
Here's Randolph going in, getting the bucket, and he'll go to the line.
Drought is over. Chance for another three-point play for Randolph. He had an opportunity earlier in this half, not able to convert on his free throw that time. If he does here, it'll cut the Alabama A&M lead down to 2.
Jalen Johnson coming back into the ball game. Randolph will go to the free throw line.
Jalen Johnson, he has 11 points. He's 4 of 10 from the field.
And he hits that one.
So now Randolph well in the double figures at 13.
Dalen Smith now with the ball. No points in the first half. 9 in this half. And he just lost the ball. And now Randolph really starting to get it pumped.
You can tell the tournament pressure. Randolph usually doesn't say anything out on the court. And once you see that he's pumped up, that gives you a good barometer for the emotion that exists in the ball game.
Randolph takes the shot just inside the top of the key. And Randolph starting to heat up. He's got 15 now.
He's Mr. Mid-range for FAMU.
Dalen Smith with a shot. Up, no good. Randolph tips it, goes out of bounds off of Alabama A&M. And there you see Randolph again showing that emotion.
We're tied at 50 and the pendulum swings when it comes to momentum. Now back on the side of FAMU.
Head coach Dalen Smith told Dalen Smith to go ahead and face guard MJ Randolph. Dalen Smith, he's defended by Randolph. Smith takes the buck shot, up no good. Rebound by Johnny Brown.
Oh, good pass there. Oh, did not finish. Kind of a no-look hook pass, and oh man, you gotta pay those off, man.
Points from MJ Randolph. You'll see a lot of that sometimes. He just quietly leaves, but there's a lot of emotion he has.
Well, you can't take that home in your back pocket. You got to leave it all on the line. Will Lady Luck switch to the side of A&M here? Not quite yet. That ball was deflected right off the knee of Cameron Tucker, and he had a face of disbelief, but active hands by FAMU. That's a turnover. It's going back to the Rattlers.
Coach McCallum just telling everybody just to calm down a little bit. A&M had hit 7 in a row, and now they missed their last 3.
Randolph looking for an opportunity within that defense. Goes right in the middle, can't find it. Gonna have to get the shot up in a hurry.
Reeves for 3, no good. Dalen Smith with the rebound for Alabama A&M. Gets it out to Hicks. 4:45 remaining.
Johnson doing a lot of pushing down low.
Dalen
on
Smith
the block.
Jalen Johnson pops it back out to Tucker, or Parker rather.
Good ball movement, nice hit, fake. Doesn't get the shot to go. Offensive board though by the Bulldogs.
9 seconds left on the shot clock. Dalen Smith loses the ball. MJ Randolph gets it.
3-on-2 break.
And an offensive foul charge to Randolph.
See Randolph there on the break. He gets the steal. They have the numbers. You see Spears ran out. Everybody ran out to the three-point line. No one was there to fill the lane. So Randolph doesn't see anybody. Where'd you guys go? He just takes it to the hole. It's amazing how the fast break has evolved. As opposed to looking to fill the lane, you run down and spot up behind the three-point line.
It used to be 3-2-1. You just knew you were going to just have lanes, everybody even, make sure that you had good spacing. Now it says who got to the three-point line and is open. Inside pass to Johnson. Good.
He has the size advantage over Randolph. Randolph caught him off the switch, and then Johnson just sealed him off, catch and turn, and just like that, Alabama A&M breaks the tie, and they're back up by 2.
13 points for Johnson. Randolph. DJ Jones missing the shot. And here comes Alabama A&M.
Jones with that looping shot along the baseline. Couldn't get it to go.
Dalen Smith, a three-pointer, no good. Reeves with the basketball now. He's telling Spears to go to the front, come and get the ball.
Randolph's played all 37 minutes of this game so far.
Block.
So it's an opportunity to push that lead up to 4, 2:35 to go. FAMU came out of a drought, went on a little run, and now things have slowed back down once again. They haven't scored in the last 4:15. Missed their last 5 shots.
When you take a look at what FAMU did, they are really 2 out of the last 4 they won. They lost to A&M 71-63 back on February the 21st. Then beat Grambling, lost to Southern, beat Bethune.
Randolph. Fadeaway jumper, no good. But he's going to get it right back on a bad outlet pass. Chance to reset the offense.
Spear and Reeves, dangerous combination. Both good ball handlers. And there's the shot. Up and good by Cameron Reeves.
Yeah, he just took the opportunity there to blow by Williams and find the open spot on the floor. Pull up for the jumper, and FAMU down by 1. 1:50 to go.
53-52, another heart stopper brewing. Dalen Smith for 3, good. Dalen.
So $1:31 to go. We're going to have full court pressure by A&M. They're going to back off now. Just wanted to offer a little resistance on the inbound. Reeves nearly lost it. Randolph looking to operate on Smith. Spin, mid-range shot is good.
Man, Randolph continues to have a great second half. He had 5 points in the first half of the ball game, and now Randolph 12 points in the second half, 17 in the game. We are under a minute in the final quarterfinal matchup here in the SWAC tournament.
Right.
Winner goes to the semis.
All right, you're going to feed Johnson down low. He's your go-to man. Hook shot off the glass is good.
Jalen Johnson getting a big bucket. He now has seconds remaining. Reeves with the ball. Randolph on the baseline. And he draws the foul. The A&M bench just looked like they just took the breath right out of them.
It's going to go against Johnson on the push. And that's going to put A&M in the bonus.
1-and-1 here for MJ Randolph, and these are huge free throws. 1-and-1 here. Randolph hits the first.
So if he makes both here, it's a 2-point game. Will be 35 seconds, 35.7 on the game clock. The shot clock will be just 5.7 seconds behind with 30 when they start, if he makes it, which he does. So it's the ball past half court.
And Alabama A&M gets the ball in. Nearly falls. Foul coming up against Randolph.
Randolph thought he had an opportunity for a steal, so he went for it. Instead, he comes up with the foul. And
third personal on Randolph. And that means that Alabama A&M goes to the charity stripe, up to 30.3 left.
So if you do foul that early, you can break this game down into several different little games in this last 30 seconds here with the ability to stop the clock.
First free throw is up and good by Cameron Tucker.
So if he hits this second one, you're going to be down 4. Look to rush the ball up court if you're FAMU. Try to get something quick, or you call a timeout and draw something up. Either way, you want to score quickly. If he misses, though, different case. He doesn't miss.
And now, when you look at Tucker, he's over 60 made free throws this season.
FAMU's going to try to get something quick. Spear. Oh, they called it timeout.
50-56 to score. Moraine will inbound the basketball. Now DJ Jones, three-pointer by MJ Randolph, no good. Alabama A&M rebounds the basketball, and a foul coming up against FAMU. 17.5 remaining. And Moraine gets the foul. That's 4 on him. 17.5 left in the game. And, you know, look, however this thing turns out for Alabama, or I should say for Florida A&M, they had a heck of a start to the SWAC season after losing to Southern. They won 7 in a row, lost to Texas Southern, and they went 4 up and 4 down the rest of the season, including a loss against Alabama A&M 71-63. For A&M, they've won 6 out of their last 7, including a 4-overtime victory against Mississippi Valley. Three-pointer, no good. Randolph goes back up for the shot. It's no good. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Randolph kicks it out. Three-pointer on the way, no good. A&M gets the ball back, and the Bulldogs are on their way to